You've probably heard me say it before, but one of the reasons I find the Bible to be trustworthy is that it holds a mirror up to us human beings and doesn't flinch. Even many of the heroes of the faith receive an unvarnished examination in which they are exposed for who they really are, warts and all. There's no whitewashing of the matriarchs and patriarchs here, which leads me to our next devotional series, which I'll call Dreamers and Schemers. We'll take an unflinching look at some of the scoundrels who played major roles in the history of the faith. And the first one we'll examine is Jacob, one of our primary forefathers in the faith. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Monday, October 16th, 2023. Jacob's story is long and involved enough that in order to do it any justice, I'll have to spread it over the course of several days. Today we'll take a look at one of the earliest episodes in Jacob's sordid story. It is the tale of how he tricked his twin brother out of his birthright. This episode happens almost at the very beginning of Jacob's story, but we get a bit of literary foreshadowing even with the story of the birth of Jacob and his fraternal twin Esau. So Esau and Jacob were the twin sons of Isaac and Rebekah. Isaac, you'll recall, was the son of Abraham and Sarah, so we're still very early in the story of the Hebrew people. Esau was the first of the sons of Isaac and Rebekah to be born, followed almost immediately by Jacob. But here was the remarkable thing. When Esau first emerged from the womb, his brother's hand was grasping his heel, foreshadowing something of Jacob's character, that he tried to take what was not his. The story then turns immediately to when the twins were old enough to hunt and work on their own. We read, when the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man, living in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he was fond of game, but Rebekah loves Jacob. Already you know almost everything you need to know. Esau was a manly man, while Jacob was a homebody. And not only a homebody, but apparently a mama's boy. Yes, I know I'm reading a little bit into the text, but I think it's a pretty fair description of the two. But now we learn something else about Jacob and his character. He's a schemer with very little spine. Here's what happens next. Once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was famished. Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stuff, for I am famished." Therefore he was called Edom. Jacob said, "First, sell me your birthright." Esau said, "I'm about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So the obvious question here is, what is a birthright, and how can someone give it away? Birthright in the ancient world boiled down to two things: name and property. Unlike in our day when we trace family names through any offspring of a family, in the ancient world the family name was considered to be handed on through the oldest son. Hence, by right, Esau would have been the one to succeed Abraham and Isaac. But being short-sighted and hungry, Esau willingly traded his birthright for a bowl of stew. Henceforth, Isaac would stand to inherit not only the lion's share of family property, but also the right to succeed in the line of Abraham. The fact that Jacob took his brother's birthright at all is scandalous. The fact that he did it through a shrewd and skillful bargain makes it that much seedier. Yes, Esau can be blamed for his short-sightedness, but for Jacob to even bargain for what rightfully belonged to his brother, well, it tells us something about Jacob, doesn't it? He's a schemer of the first rank. And yet, when we name the patriarchs, we name them in this way: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In fact, that's how God identifies himself to Moses in the burning bush when he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. In spite of the fact that he was a schemer, taking his brother's birthright, he remains one of our great forefathers in the faith. Human to a fault, just like us. Tomorrow, the sordid story of Jacob's theft of Esau's blessing. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.